What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. Last night I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, and Guardians of the Galaxy is the latest film to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Before I begin this review, I want to let you guys know that this review is 100% spoiler free. I'm not going to get into any specific details about the film. I'm just going to talk about how I felt about the film, alright? So Guardians of the Galaxy, the latest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, also the latest film from director James Gunn, and it stars Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Zoe Saldana, and the voices of Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel. And together, they are the Guardians of the Galaxy. And what makes this film great? It is them as a team. They work together so well. The chemistry is great. I love that the characters are a bunch of misfit, ragtag, unlikely heroes. In a way, they're all kind of losers because we have a thief, we have an assassin, we got a maniac, and we got two thugs. And when they're together, they're just a lot of fun to watch. And the key word is that it is fun. This movie is fun. Okay, after seeing so many Marvel films that are, some of them are quite serious, like for example, Captain America the Winter Soldier. I mean, it can be fun and there's a lot of fun moments, but this movie is 100% fun. From beginning to middle to end, it is a lot of fun because the characters are fun and there's also a lot of comedy in there. It's actually really, really funny because when I first heard about that Marvel Studios was making a movie called the Guardians of the Galaxy to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I really didn't know what to expect because I had no knowledge of the source material. I never even heard of these characters, and I don't know what they're about. But when I first saw the first teaser trailer, I was thinking that, hey, this looks fun. This looks like it's going to be funny because of Chris Pratt's character and the way the teaser trailer was cut. It's got a lot of comedy beats, which tells me that the tone of the movie is going to be really, really fun. And then as I saw more marketing, it really solidified the fact that, okay, James Gunn is going to give us something fun and funny. And this movie is all that. First of all, it's action-packed. There's a lot of great action sequences in this movie. There's a lot of really great visuals in this movie, but essentially this movie is a lot of fun because the characters are a lot of fun. They're fun to watch. They have a lot of really great moments, a lot of great character moments. They're well developed. They have great chemistry, and you know what? The story, I'll tell you, the story is really your typical good versus evil type of story. But it involves unlikely heroes. That's what makes it very, very unique. And while we might have seen this kind of story before in other science fiction films, like for example Star Wars, it still feels very fresh, especially as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We've been seeing so many sequels, we've been seeing so many superheroes where it's like Iron Man or Thor or Captain America in their solo films, and essentially they're all sequels. Finally, we're getting something, I wouldn't say original, but it's something fresh. Okay, we're not seeing high-flying heroes. We're not seeing heroes that are like who got super strength and running really fast. We're not getting anything like that. We are getting a ragtag misfit group of unlikely heroes, and together they just work. And you know what? There's great performances there. I found that just the characters that are CG animated, like Rocket Raccoon and Groot, I find that they steal the show because from James Gunn's direction, they're so animated. They're like these lifelike characters that are larger than life just because of their performances alone. I mean, Bradley Cooper and Groot, and Vin Diesel, they do such a great job with the voice acting, even though all he says is, "I am Groot." It's just 3 words said in that order. But the thing that's great about the character of Groot is that he emotes. He's got a lot of emotion, and it really makes him really quite a charming character that really steals the show, along with Rocket Raccoon. And Zoe Saldana is great as a very physical character. I mean, she's great in the visual sense because she pulls off a lot of stunts and a lot of martial arts. Chris Pratt is great because of his comic timing. Okay, so he's a lot of fun to watch for a character as a whole. Dave Bautista as Drax the Destroyer, I gotta say that he's the weak link of the group, okay? Now, it has a lot to do with his performance because, you know, well, he's not, he came from WWE, okay? He didn't start off as an actor, and you can tell that, you know, someone who's an actor and someone who doesn't have a whole lot of credits under their belt, really you can see that contrast between the performances. But as a physical actor, I really like that he provides the brute force in the group. So they need each other. It's not like how the Avengers need each other. These guys genuinely need each other for them to carry out their heroic cause. And it really, really works. All right? So this is a great film, just mainly because of the characters, but it's also something that's very, very fresh. Another thing that's great about it is, of course, James Gunn, the director. His direction is great, but not only that, he brought to life this amazing fictional world that is like completely cosmic and space age. You know, we're not going to get Star Wars until like next year, late next year. And what's really cool is that we've seen so many superhero films that are so grounded. It's finally time to see I guess a comic book movie film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe that is not so grounded. It's in another dimension because the Marvel Cinematic Universe also involves other dimensions. You know what I'm saying? So very, very cool. And also with regards to James Gunn, this movie was expertly paced. I gotta tell you, the pacing was perfect. There is never a dull moment in this movie, okay? When there's like from the grounded action sequences to the space battles to just the comedy, there is never a dull moment in this movie, thus making the film very, very expertly paced. And James Gunn is a really superb director, not just in capturing the great performances, but also bringing all the visuals to life. And not just the visuals are brought to life, but the audio. I mean, I'm talking about the music. The music in itself has a purpose in the film. It almost like the music, the soundtrack, you know, the Awesome Mixtape Volume 1, it plays a character in the film. It really develops the story. You know what I'm saying? So, man, there's just so many great elements in this movie. And another one of the great elements in this movie is the IMAX 3D. One thing you gotta know is that you have to watch this movie in 3D. And if you don't, if you have an IMAX theater, watch it in IMAX 3D. This is a post-conversion, it is also an IMAX DMR film. Okay, so it wasn't shot in native 3D. It also wasn't shot in 3D. But this has got to be one of the most beautifully post-conversions I've ever seen. Maybe even the best. I'm talking about Avatar quality level 3D. And the IMAX sequences, they were able to give us a full frame sequence without even using IMAX cameras. How he was able to do that, I don't even know the entire process behind it. But whenever we're in those space sequences, and also in those alien like landscapes, oh my god, it looks beautiful. You have to see this movie in IMAX 3D. If you don't have an IMAX theater, watch it in 3D. Okay? Don't lose this opportunity to watch the film the way it's meant to be seen. Because James Gunn really took the time to supervise this process. He gave us a great post-conversion. He supervised the post-conversion shot for shot, frame by frame, and it looks beautiful. So must see in 3D and IMAX 3D. Alright? Now, I mean, is there anything that I didn't like about the movie? No, there wasn't anything I didn't like about the movie, but I thought that there were some things that could have been improved. I mean, I've already told you that Dave Bautista's performance wasn't that great. He was the weak link, but his character needed to be there, and his character is a character that I feel that could be explored more. So it leaves us wanting more, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, with regards to great heroes, you gotta have great villains. Now, you know, Ronin the Accuser and Nebula, I wanted to see more of them. I'll tell you, Ronin the Accuser, he has this giant double-handed hammer weapon, and we don't really get to see him use it that much. You know, I'm not going to get into too specific details, but I would have liked to see more. Because for a name like Ronin the Accuser, that just sounds badass. You know what I'm saying? Now, Lee Pace does a great job. Karen Gillan does a great job. Like, their performances are great as those characters. But I think I would have wanted to see I guess, a more physical presence for Ronin the Accuser. All right. Now, on the other hand, if you think of the villains as a whole, like as a whole entity, it's a great antagonist. Like that's a very strong antagonist. Like it's a very, I guess it's a sufficient antagonist. But when you look at them as individual characters, I think that we could have used more. But out of everything, man, this movie is entertaining from beginning to end, completely engaging, and I gotta tell you, this might be, and I think it even is, my favorite film of the summer. Like, the best film of the summer. I'm giving this movie a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10, okay? Very, very high score. It's a near-perfect score, and there's just a few minor things that I could have improved, but other than that, I think it's great. And there you have it. That's all I got to say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. Follow me on Instagram, @TheRaginNation. I'll see you next time. Peace. Scarlett Johansson there, nor did they have Don Cheadle, okay? But they had everybody else.